that we have to be interested in to find out. Find out then what happened to this ummah since the Khilafat was veiled, especially what happened in the land of the Ottomans, that they were controlling, that they had taken bayat from the Muslim nations and also from some non-Muslim nations, from east to west, north and south. And how, because of the poisons of nationalism, this nation had been split and broken up, and it's still split and cut up and bleeding up till today. Some who are heroes, they say that they are enemies. And some who are in reality enemies, they say that they are heroes. Check history. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for intelligence and find out. If we question our faith, meaning if we renew our faith, and we check every night to see how we've lived according to our faith that day, then check what you read and what you understand. Check what is being taught. Check. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false, but check. If you are sincere, you're going to find out the truth very easily. Allah will open something up for you to understand. Otherwise, you will never see the Muslims being together again, because they are busy looking at each other, first attacking the Khilafat from the Balkans to Western China. So, inshallah, may Allah not make us to be amongst the nations who betrayed the Khalifah. And there were many nations that betrayed the Khalifah. The Arab nations, from that time until now, never known peace, isn't it? No matter how bad things were for hundreds of years during the time of the Khilafat, there was peace in the Middle East. Isn't it? Say otherwise. 300 years, 500 years. What happened? They were fighting like this. Not just there, everywhere in the world now, never finding comfort, never finding justice. Because adalat, adil, justice, was one of the most important things. One of the most important things that the Ottomans, they were holding. Justice means what? In this country, they show statue of justice. They say justice is what? Is blind. They don't look to see who it is. They have to give justice where there is. The West only looking at outside beauty. When they see the Ottoman Khalifah, they only see the beautiful things, only the beauty that they like. There are other things that they don't like, or they're going to say millions of things. But what they like is never the real thing. It's only the outside. During the reign of Sultan Suleiman, they call Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. Because they say it is very beautiful. He made beautiful. So many other things they say about Sultan Suleiman. They say he's cruel, he's this, he's that. But they say it's beautiful. We like that part. We don't want to give credit to the other parts that he has brought. But amongst the Ottomans themselves, Sultan Suleiman was not known as the Magnificent. He was known as the lawgiver, Kanuni, Sultan Suleiman. The one who gave law. The one who gives what? Justice. And peace can only be obtained if there is justice. If there is no justice, there is no peace. Among the Khulafai Rashidin, who was it that is really representing justice? Hazrati Abu Bakr, Hazrati Umar, Hazrati Usman, Hazrati Ali, radiallahu anhu. It was Hazrati Umar representing justice, because he was coming up with so much laws too. He was not looking either at Muslim, Christian or Jew. Even before he was a Khalifah, he was not looking at outside. He was looking at the inside. He was looking at justice. You know the story of Hazrat Umar Farooq, how he got the title of Farooq, the divider, the separator. That is one of the names of the Quran, Furqan, coming from the same meaning, same root word. Because one Muslim, looking like a Muslim from outside, but was a munafiq, and one Yahudi, they had some disagreement. The Yahudi says, let's go to your prophet. So this munafiq says, okay, let's go to the prophet. Alayhi salatu wassalam listened to both of them and said, this Yahudi is correct. You are wrong. So they walked away. And this munafiq said, let's get a second opinion. Let's go see Omar. He is known to be very fair. He is known to be very just. He is not looking at who is who. And the Yahudi was surprised, saying, we just saw your prophet, and you don't believe in what your prophet said? He says, yeah, but sometimes he's saying things just to soften your heart so that you become Muslim. He's playing politics. He's not really being just. So Yahudi saying, okay, let's go see Hazrat Omar. They approach Hazrat Omar. Hazrat Omar listened to both of them. Then he said, let me ask you something. I notice there's a different light with you. Before you came to see me to ask for a ruling, who did you go to? Because anyone who sits in the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, he gets light. Anyone who sits in the presence of the awliya Allah, they get light. And when they go out, people will look at them. There's something different about them. So, this munafiq said, yeah, you went to see Prophet. Hazrat Umar said, you went to see Prophet, alayhi wasalam. And what did he say? Well, he said, this Yahudi is right and I'm wrong. And still you came to see me. Well, you have a reputation of being very just. Prophet is very merciful. Maybe he was just saying it to win this Yahudi's heart, so he becomes a Muslim. Hazrat Umar said, wait 1 second. Let me check my books. He is a prophet. He didn't need to check. Not one. I have to check. Although Prophet ﷺ says if there was going to be a prophet after me, it was going to be Umar. So he turned around, he pulled out his sword, and when he turned around again to face them, he cut that munafiq in half. The Yahudi was very shocked and very scared. Hazrat Umar saying, don't worry, this is not for you. Shaykh Effendi saying, Hazrat Umar still, he did not do it, although he knows that he's right, and he just sits back and he's just feeling very happy with himself and very confident. Still something was bothering him. He just killed a man who is a Muslim from the outside. No one can deny that. He was eating him. So finally he went to see the Prophet ﷺ. But from a distance, you could see the Prophet was smiling. He was smiling so wide you could see the teeth of the Prophet ﷺ. When he came nearer, Prophet ﷺ smiled and says, Allah is sending salams to you. Jibreel just came to me to say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the title of Furqan, Faruq, Umar Faruq, because you separated haq from batil. Kanuni Sultan Suleiman, he was giving laws to separate haq from batil. And justice was a very, very important aspect of the Ottoman Empire. They were not looking at Jew, Christian, Muslim, Albanian, Egyptian, Turkish, Yahudi, all different nationalities. They were looking at what secret you have, that you have developed, that Allah has given you, that you can use for Islam and for the Ummah, and they bring them in. They were blind to color. They were blind to religion. That later on, when the Ottoman Empire was getting weak from the inside, and nationalism started to take over. Turkish nationalism, Albanian nationalism, Bosnian nationalism, Egyptian nationalism, Syrian nationalism, every nation under the Ottomans declaring themselves to be ahead. When nationalism started to take over, which, by the way, nationalism is forbidden in Islam. Islam is what? Ummah. Islam is one empire. So, when nationalism, especially Turkish nationalism, started to come up, one of the things that they blamed the Ottomans for was because the Ottomans, they were not boosting the Turks enough. That they were taking people from other races and religions to serve the people, to be leaders, but they were not picking their own race, their own ethnicity enough. Adalat, justice is missing, completely lifted from this world. Inshallah Rahman, we're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring back justice to this world. Through the Khalifah, through Mahdi alayhi salam, through Isa alayhi salam, to bring the hearts of the believers, not the hearts of Muslims, not the hearts of Christians or Jews, or the hearts of believers everywhere together, inshallah. Min Allah tawfiq al-Fatiha.